Hello, this is Professor Gavor. I posted a video yesterday called Moving Online. A student wrote me today and said, only a third of that video came through. And I was wondering why. So I think when I do it full screen on a presentation mode, it seems to have a limit on my Mac here of 5 minutes and 49 seconds. So this is the second time I'm recording part two, and the third time I'm recording at least part of this video. So moving online part two, and it was interesting where we stopped yesterday. It was in the middle of the pictures, and it was a picture about Plan B. And it was supposed to be Plan B. What do you do when you're out of toilet paper and you didn't hoard like everybody else did, and there's no toilet paper left to buy? You're on Plan B. So I'm on Plan B with this video. But my favorite graphic that I've seen so far on this COVID pandemic is this one. Guys dressed head to toe in, post-apocalyptic hazmat body armor, and you got to be dressed that way, I guess, to go to the store. So it's kind of funny. The next one is from the CVS near my house. This was on Sunday of this week, and this is the aisle where there's normally supposed to be disinfectant wipes and Lysol sprays and all of that. And you can see it was completely wiped out. Likewise, at Sunset Foods, the grocery store near my house, the bread aisle was completely wiped out. Now, the supply chain is not broken. It's not a natural catastrophe where we're not able to replenish. It's just people are hoarding, and there's been a run on things, which is a behavioral economic kind of activity, where like a run on the banks and all of those kinds of things in history that we've had, the tulip boom of the 1600s, and all kinds of other examples. I think the disinfectants will be replenished, and people won't be hoarding anymore because they cannot possibly use probably what they bought in the volumes that they bought it in. Bread will be replenished, and how much bread does people need? They probably put some, stock their freezers with it. I mean, 2 weeks before this, I'd bought, for two of us, 24 bagels and 2 loaves of bread, and they're in the freezer, and we haven't even touched them yet. So we'll see what happens. Using this to segue into business and your courses, I was at the local Costco, not yesterday, but now Tuesday, and they got 30 pallets of paper goods and paper towels and toilet paper in. They were gone within the first hour of opening. Now, if I think of this from an operations management perspective and a microeconomic perspective, there's obviously a shift in demand, but not a shift in supply. There has been, how will the operations, the supply chains react to this? And you're already starting to read articles about the maker of hand sanitizers that's ramping up their production by a factor of 4, et cetera, et cetera. In the Tuesday Wall Street Journal, on the front page, there were 2 articles right next to each other, really showing how this pandemic is influencing business. Businesses that have IT as a backbone, basically the e-commerce business, and Amazon being the poster child of that, is hiring 100,000 workers. The airlines are pressing for $50 billion in aid just to stay solvent, as are the hotel industry, except they want $150 billion. So there's big changes are unfolding right in front of us, and they're unfolding in real time. I think if I can gear some of our discussions and papers to what's happening in this pandemic, it can help bring some of those concepts that we're going to talk about to life. So look for that in your courses. Now, when it comes to our courses, we're still going to use Canvas, especially since we moved online. Canvas is designed maybe better for online courses than face-to-face courses, but it works for both. So we're going to use Canvas. It's our North Park learning management system. We're going to use it for announcements, so I let you know what's happening. We're going to put up course materials there, files for both reading and PowerPoint slides, and links to videos, and the videos will be videos of lectures, of new material, and otherwise. The otherwise is probably videos of how to do a certain kind of problem in Excel, perhaps. The assignments will be posted in Canvas. The description of discussions and homework assignments and papers will all be there. It's where discussions are to be done and other assignments are to be turned in. And of course, I will use the gradebook as I always have in Canvas because it's very convenient. You get to see your grades as soon as I enter them and know where you stand. A new feature we have is called Microsoft Teams. This is a new functionality that's offered by North Park. As it is Microsoft, it syncs with your calendar and email, and it has all the features of your smartphone, and it's kind of like a super duper WhatsApp. So I suggest you activate it. I have it on both my phone and laptop, and it's really how I would like you moving forward to text me, and so we can have a phone, and I can instantaneously set up a phone and video chat. And if I set up a video chat and open it up, I can share my screen and show you in Canvas where something is, or I can show you on Excel how to do something, or you can show me in something you read, the passage, or in a lecture on slide number, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand what you're saying, and I can help clarify all that. I'm setting up groups for each class. I've already done that. You should have gotten the first text message there. I would activate this and use it, and really one of the reasons I'm using it is I prefer email. I use North Park email exclusively, and if we do all of our texting and course discussion here, I know a lot of you like to use Canvas to do that. I guess that's okay as well because that comes to my email. I like it because if we agree to something or disagree to something, we have a trail, a paper trail that we can go back to that we can both look at and find out who was actually right. It's probably likely that I messed up, but occasionally a student gets something wrong too. So that's I want to use it so I have all this stuff in like one place. Office hours. I haven't really published office hours, but I'll be honest with you. I'm home all day for like till the end of the semester, and maybe even longer than that. And maybe I want to go take a walk and do some exercise and whatever. But when I'm not, I've got my phone handy. I've got my thing handy. Just contact me whenever you want, and we'll talk. If it ends up that so many people from so many classes are contacting me, I may pick some virtual hours for this class or that class. But for the time being, I'm just going to let you just wing it and contact me as you will. I have really nothing else to do, no place else to go, as I imagine some of you are in the same boat. I don't have kids at home. Some of you may. That could be different. So all courses were officially opened late last night, but they're officially open this morning. Quantitative Methods was open Sunday because it was already ready to go. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. So the week is short. I've tried to make the work here minimal. It's week 1 for the quad class, week 9 for the semester. Officially, it's only Thursday today to Sunday the 22nd. I think I made most of the homework due on the 23rd, Monday, giving you an extra day. So since I made minimal assignments, get it done. Do the work. Don't make me chase you. New policy regarding late work. And this is thanks to an undergraduate class whose midterm grades were, I had way too many F's in that class, people just not doing things. So this is a policy. If you turn it in on time, I'll grade it, and you get whatever grade I get you, like that would be normal. If it's up to 24 hours late, I'll still grade it, but the max you can get is 80% of the total points. So if it's worth 10 points, you can get 8. If it's worth 50, you can get 40. If it's worth 100, you can get 80. And that's pretty much it. After 24 hours, if you turn it in after that, your score is 0. How do we determine what's late? Canvas does that. Whenever you turn something in, it's marks it as late or not. I know I'm going to get, the dog ate my internet. There was no portal to enter it, which sometimes is the case. But usually, if you find that you can't enter it, it's usually because I'm using Turnitin and a portal went away. I don't know why it does. I just refresh your screen, it should come back. Also, time-wise, let's think about this. You're in Sweden or Norway. You're in California or Colorado. You're in Boston. It's not the same time zone. I do believe Canvas, not Kansas, takes the time on your computer as the clock for, so if you change your time zone on your computer, which oftentimes happens automatically, Canvas should adjust that to your time zone. And if you have any trouble with that, call IT just to make sure. Okay, so what's the rationale for this policy other than the fact that I had like 10 students that got Fs on the midterm for one class? Well, I do have 140 plus students. Actually, it's probably 150 plus students. Chasing folks online for this kind of stuff is crazy. So please reach out if it's an issue and let me know. And also, if you have any mitigating circumstances that prevent you from doing online work, or something happens, or someone gets ill in your family, let me know that, and we'll put ears in for you and get North Park to see what they can do to at least help you from your academic standpoint. And I probably have to be more sympathetic then, but let's hope that no one gets this, including yours truly. So another student asked a question, and they didn't ask using these words. Hey, is the course going to be synchronous or asynchronous? What? What is synchronous, asynchronous? What does that mean? Well, synchronous means if I give a lecture, I say, hey, at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to have a lecture in 2510. Everybody sign on to Microsoft Teams. I will deliver the lecture. I will ask you questions. You will ask me questions. And it'll be just like a normal classroom setting, except none of us are sitting in the classroom. Microsoft Teams is excellent for that. And it would be mostly for lectures and discussions. All the other homework would be done like you normally do homework and turn it in, and discussion and turn it in via Canvas. An asynchronous class is where the video lectures and online discussions are provided. You watch and participate around your schedule. So in other words, if you've got kids at home, and if you've got parents to take care of or work to go to, if you're a nurse or whatever the case may be, you may not be available when I think I want to be available to teach something. So you watch the video when you want. And this is one of those kind of videos. And as I'm fond of saying in all my classes, these videos serve two purposes. One, they're informative to the best of my ability. I'm really trying to think of how to add a soundtrack to some of these, or sound effects, But the other thing is that it's the second purpose these videos serve, and it's very important. If you have insomnia, or any of your loved ones have insomnia, send them this video. They'll fall asleep within 5 minutes. So I should almost bottle it and sell it as a prescription. So your only requirement in the synchronous part is to do the work and turn it in on time. At this point of this course, of this semester, we're going asynchronous unless I get a lot of people calling and wanting to talk and wanting to have some online sessions for this or that. And then I may just go to synchronous office hours where whoever wants to can come in. I think I can also record such things on Microsoft Teams and then post those. All right, here's the courses this semester. It's 3 undergraduate courses: Principles in Micro, Operations Management, Info Systems, and Topics in Info Systems. The graduate courses, which are quad courses, the undergraduate courses all being semester courses: Microeconomics for Managers and Quantitative Methods for Managers. So let me go through these courses, and if it's not your course, don't worry, it won't take too long. in 2212 and 2510. These have been traditional face-to-face, never taught them online. We will continue with weekly homework and weekly discussions. So far, the weekly discussions are only in 2212, but that's only at this point. I may add them in 2510. Paper 2 is assigned for both classes. Tragedy of the Commons and a definition of quality in 2510. Tragedy of the Commons is in micro. The exams, that's a bigger question. I'm not sure. I've never done online quizzes using Canvas. That won't stop me from it. But as you know, my exams are both a combination of short answer essay questions and numerical questions. So for the short answer essay questions, I'm thinking about having an exam question. And most of those short answer essay questions are about readings that I want to make sure that you've read. So I might have exam 3, discussion 1, and give you like a 4-hour window or something like that, or a 1-day window. I'll probably do a 1-day window and do them all in one day. Of here's the reading, here's the discussion question, and I guess I don't care if you discuss the discussion question with others. It means you've at least read it and thought about the material, which is my main objective anyway. Because whenever you do things online, there's always the risk of people using their cell phones and calling their friends. And so that's fine. So exam quizzes, I'm trying to think of whether to make harder take-home exams or multiple choice quizzes, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that for the numerical problems. Stay tuned. I have to make a decision pretty darn quick, though. Topics and info systems. This is a course that will still be co-taught by Professors Papademos and me. Papademos is in charge of case studies, computer simulations of some sort, if he's done any of those. Exam, he will have online or take home. I think he made an announcement that this Friday there's supposed to be an online exam, so pay attention to your email because class are back in session, and if he's got an exam, you should be ready to take it. I'll be in charge of video lectures, discussions, and I'm probably going to have 2 papers. The group project may no longer be feasible since it's hard for groups to get together, but with Microsoft Teams, you may still be able to do it. I'm still thinking about this, but again, it's something I have to have a resolution on rather quickly. Okay, then graduate courses. This Microeconomics for Managers was supposed to be a face-to-face course. People took it face-to-face. They don't usually want to take it online. I apologize for that. It's not my fault. It's COVID-19's fault. I've taught it online. It's the exact same content. It's easier for me to switch, harder for students that expect it face-to-face. The format is weekly discussions, weekly problem set, a combination of short answer and or calculation problems in Excel. I'm not as picky in the format here, but I do want you to turn it in business pretty. And business pretty means like you would turn something into your boss, not just slap together like you're in the 3rd grade. And 3 papers, 1 every 2 weeks. And the first one's already up there. 5411. I've taught this class 10 times online. So this is my most prepared, and the course is fully open right now. It was the only one that was designated to be online, and we're going to continue that way. There's weekly discussions, weekly Excel problems. Note that I'm very picky on the format of the Excel problems. I provided a video, watch it, adhere to that, pay attention, because I will take points off starting right out of the chute. There'll be 3 papers, the first one of which is already assigned on sales and operations planning. And the papers are used to introduce the next module. So that's a summary of the courses. In summary of this presentation, you have some responsibilities, I have some responsibilities. You should do this week's work. It's a short week. Get it done. Get on Microsoft Teams. Text me there with questions. We can voice or video chat as needed. I can screen share as needed. Get a head start on next week's work as it opens. And I should have them open every class by Friday, at least my portion of 3910. Text and call me with any questions or concerns. That's your job. My responsibility is to continue to open the weeks. I want to have all the weeks of the rest of the semester open as soon as possible. I'm not going to hide any of them. I'll leave them all open so you can work ahead if you want. That's the whole beauty of being online, I guess. And the reason we have a policy at North Park of every professor should, as quickly as possible, open, populate Canvas with all the content for every week. The reason we say this is because of why we're all online now. What if one of us gets COVID or gets sick with this virus and can't finish the term? Well, not many professors could come in and jump in on quantitative methods or operations management. More could jump in on micro and maybe IT. Papademos could take it over himself. But if I'm out and my shell is populated, another professor can step in and at least run the class, so to speak. If they also have to develop content, forget about it. The same is the case for me. If I have to jump in on someone's finance class or marketing class or HR class, I mean, if the shell's populated, I could probably run the darn thing. If it's not populated, well, now I have to populate it, which means I have to go over the books, the content, the material, and craft a new class, which is really kind of tough. So that's why we're making everybody populate their content as quickly as possible. So I'm making a lot of videos, lectures, and how to do problems. And as you go through these videos, and if any of them are clipped like this one was, please let me know. If any of the dates look funny or fishy, let me know, because sometimes the date is like from the last offering of the class. So it says, hey, this problem is due November 6th, 2019. And you're like, Professor, how can it be due late or early before the class even started? And, well, that's an error on my part, obviously. I'm trying to figure out the exams for 2212 and 2510. Working to link some timely discussions and maybe papers on the COVID-19 epidemic to illustrate some of the points we're covering in class. And I'll try to, as much as possible, make Canvas more clear. And it might be by putting a short little video for each class saying, hey, here's what's coming up this week. And here's where it is on Canvas. And if you've got any questions, call me. So let's end where we started. Be well, stay healthy, and wash your hands a lot. And that applies to you and your loved ones. And together we can make this happen and hopefully make it as good an experience as possible. And I thank you very much.